Okay, this is a canister filter from a company called Swell. It's probably made by another one and rebranded, but it's the cheapest one I could find on their website, and it's an external canister filter, and it's only 10 watts. Let's have a look. While I'm not a fan of doing unboxings, I'm going to get this out of the box. We'll have a quick look at it and see what you get inside the box. Bear with me, let's get it open. Okay, I have to say this is actually well packaged. It's a very similar size to the 307 or maybe closer to the 407. I don't know. Okay, so on the bottom we do have anti-vibration feet, so that's good. It's a little bit plasticky, to be honest. Okay, that's your primer, in and out. So you're going to have some kind of anti-stop valve. So these come up quite easy. Just pull from the bottom like this. Let me show you on the side of this one. So like that, you just pull it out and flick it up, and that comes away quite easy. Okay, so the water comes in, goes down the bottom, goes through here, okay, straight down the bottom, and then comes up. Okay, so I'm hoping to see the foams on the bottom. Let's have a look. That's a shame. Not much media in there, and it's broken anyway. But nice little drawers. Nice little drawers there. Let's get this out of the way. And they are locked together. Okay. How do they come apart? Okay, that's very simple. Shame about this. Let's get rid of all that. I mean, to be honest, you're going to have to wash all this anyway. Let's get some of this out of the way. You don't want that ending up in your impeller, obviously. Which wouldn't be a good thing, would it? Okay, let me just give this a quick clean up and we'll have another look. Just a quick note on the quality. This, you pull down and they come apart. Yeah, so I'll show you again. This, come down and they come apart. So that's quite good. One piece of foam. Not what I was hoping for, to be honest, but hey ho. I'm assuming that Swell buy these in and manufacture them. That's why they're so cheap. So they're like that. So I would put probably another foam. I'd put that, the coarse foam first. I might even use this in the bottom here. Put this on top and then put my own media in the other two baskets. Okay, so let's get the accessories out. So let's have a look at that first. It's a shame some of this is broken up. Yeah, look, broken finger. Let's have a look in the accessory box. So let's undo that. What do we have in here? Looks like carbon. Never use carbon unless you're medicating the tank. It's completely pointless. A filter bag. Okay, a filter bag for the carbon. Oh, more filter bags. Excellent. And of course, the tube. Alright, so the pickup, 22mm. Okay, so this actually, oh, okay, that's quite cool. That's quite cool. There's your range. That's the ones they do. That's all the pipes. And this is the stop valve. Okay. Always put a bit of grease around these guys, yeah. And there should be one. Yeah, see that? There's a very small gasket all the way around. Always put a little bit of grease around there, Vaseline, something like that. tube. Yeah, that's quite nice. It's bendy tube though, so we're going to have to straighten that out before we use, and obviously all the bits and pieces. I'm quite happy with the fact they put media bags in, right, which is a very fine one and a very thick one, but I would like to have seen more sponge. Okay, sponge is primary. Most of the best videos you're ever going to see about filters, regardless of what they are and how they work, is they'll always have at least a third of sponge, and that's because you have a thick one which is say 30 pores per inch, and then you'll have a sort of settle out one which is 45 dots per inch, which is very important. So you'd have the ones with the big pores on the bottom, or the first thing that comes in contact with the water would be that one. Then you'd have a finer one to take out the rest of the particulates, so you get clean water to your media. That's very important. And the fact you only get a tiny amount of media means that you'd have to add to this. All right, don't make any mistake of just using this. All right, I might even get some ceramic rings and put in here. Don't use plastic. Ceramic rings in here to set out some of the heavy muck first. Put that on top. Okay, and then we can go with this. It's very porous, but I'll probably end up putting more media in that. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to put this in dry and see how this pumps. All right, so we're just going to make sure that we can get it recommended 1,000 on this. It's 1,000 litres. So okay, let's get it in the water, have a look. Okay, so put some grease around there like that. Now, just to show you something, that is going to be my bottom tray. All right, and to be fair, there really isn't a lot of media in that, which is a little bit upsetting. Okay, you know, I know it says media included, but I've got 2 empty trays of media now, so I'm going to fill that up later on. But for the purpose of this video, I want to see how good the pressure is on this, and to see if it can actually hold its own, because I want to use this on another tank. So let me set it up and we'll get it wet. Just a tip as well, if you have trouble getting these ends on, because they are quite stiff, heat them up with a bit of steam first and they'll slide straight on. Keep your fingers away from the heat though. Okay, so one problem I do find is this pipe just kinks all the time. I mean, obviously you would cut this down, but let's see if the primer works, because that's going to be a big issue for a lot of people. Okay. Okay, so it is working. Okay, let's see how long it takes before the siphon works. Okay, as you can hear, that's now siphoning it in, so the siphon does work. Excellent. So I'm going to let that do it now. I've left some of the bits off so we can get a good idea of the flow and everything. And this is not ideal. This will be going into a tank, but I want to make sure it's actually good for a tank first. So this is for the UV. This one that I bought doesn't come with the UV. I've gone with the cheapest one for a reason. And that's because I want to make sure this actually works as it should before I even get involved in buying a more expensive one. Okay, if it's kinked, that is why the siphon's not working properly. Now remember, the filter's not on yet. Never turn the filter on straight away. Okay. Filter's stopped working. Right, let's see if it works now from here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, the pump's working, but it's still filling up the system, so we have to wait. It seems to be able to work out the air itself. You can see there's loads of air bubbles. You should, when you set up a canister filter, just give it a rock every now and again See that? See the amount of air coming out? It does a good job of getting rid of it, so keep doing it until it's completely... Oh, it's struggling with that one. There you go, it's still doing it, still doing it. There you go. Not a bad job. There's still water coming out. There's still water coming out. There's still some air bubbles in there though. Which is a bit annoying. There you go. Even though it's struggling, we're getting water. I'm going to give that a couple of minutes so I can give it a good look over. Okay, got all the air out. That was a bit of a trauma, to be honest. I mean, you've got to keep moving this backwards and forwards. Hear that? Still air in there. You can actually hear it, but the motor is quite quiet on this. I would say it's probably the same as a 306 flue valve. Maybe a little bit. But it's not unintrusive. I mean, once you get the air out, and there was a lot of problem with that, listen. You wouldn't even hear it up here if this was in a cupboard, okay? Obviously this is not ideal. You'd need to cut these down accordingly. Not bad at all. As for flow, I wouldn't say that's 1,000 litres. I will measure that with the U3 because that goes in the water as well. But I'm going to put it on a box and see if that makes any difference. Okay, so let's pull this out of water again. It has made a difference. So the closer you get to equilibrium, and I mean that if you put this level with the tank, it will come out a lot faster. So again, 1,000 litres, I would probably say that's more like 850, and that's my professional opinion. Or should I say personal opinion, I should say. Okay, so let's put the spray bar on. Now, the only thing I did find with this, when you turn it off, it does suck water in. So this is how I would set it up underneath the water, to be honest. And obviously fill with media. Okay, so let's get the spray bar on and have a look at that. Okay, so it does go to the end of the spray bar, as you can see. And you do have a full kit here. That would be quite annoying for me on a tank. But look at the flow. Let me do it this way. See the flow? There's plenty of flow across the water. That would stop proteins building up in the water. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll turn it all off and I'll give you my honest opinion of should you buy one of these. Oh, by the way, this is the flow regulator. If I turn it down, it throttles back, as you can see, and then fully up. Be very careful because it's right next to this. This releases these, so be very careful with that. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's no water left in. There's no air left in that. Okay, let me turn it off. I'll give you my thoughts. Now let's see if any water comes in. So no air comes in with that on. So you'd probably have to use it with the bar. You could probably put a duckbill on the end of that, to be honest. Okay, so first format, you get everything you need to get it running except media. You need to fill this full of media. That sponge really isn't enough, so I'd put another sponge in there. You could probably buy accessories for this on Swell. So instead of being, say, the £60 mark, I reckon it's going to be looking at the £70 mark. But the other cheapest one on there was £90. So yeah, there you go. There's the air. There's the air just building up. See that? And what that means is when I turn it back on, that goes straight into the filter. See that? Out, back in the filter. Not really a good idea. So this kinks so easy and it's very hard to unkink. Obviously this is not an ideal setup. The fact that you get this, which is extendable, fantastic. You get enough to go from the floor up, and I've set it up so as you can see it's like that really. The primer did take a little bit, but I'm going to give you a tip. All right, two things. First of all, fill the canister up with treated water before you even start. All right. Secondly, make sure both ends are under the water when you're priming. But yes, I recommend this. I would buy it for my filter, for my tanks. This one is going on a tank. So I'm going to get it all set up, get some new media, and I'll show you that later on in another video. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care.